All right, guys, welcome. Happy Sunday. This is our opportunity to get a head start on the upcoming week ahead. Um, I didn't upload anything yesterday or Friday, so yeah, I haven't done a market check for the last 2 days. Plan is moving forward. I want to do Monday to Friday, essentially a very Forex and commodities centered market check, and then on the weekend we're going to dive into some crypto. Crypto does, although like crypto does normally have a lot less volatility on the weekend. There are greater opportunities for manipulation moves on the weekends. Um, so yeah, we're gonna plan is moving forward. We're gonna focus on commodities and forex Monday to Friday, and then weekends will be very crypto focused. And yeah, during the week, if one of our crypto focus moves from the weekends are looking good, then yeah, we're obviously going to dabble in them as well during the week. But yeah, and then given that I didn't record a video on the Friday, I didn't do a market check on the Friday. We're gonna sort of prep forex for the upcoming week, and then we will dive into crypto afterwards. So yeah, this could be a bit of a longer video. Forex we'll start off with forex and commodities, and crypto will be in the second half. So yeah, we'll get straight into it. Yeah, gold has ran through this 3-hour OBIF, so we can get rid of that. We are still kind of in this mega sort of, well, it's now formed an accumulation. And pretty much re-pull our range like this for now. Do we have some demand in here? Potentially. Yeah, technically this move here is a valid demand POI. Which has been mitigated on the lower time frame, and that will be our more refined area in which we will be monitoring, which may have actually been mitigated itself. It has. Yeah, nothing really in here though, eh? Yeah, it is valid. It is a valid 1 minute supply OBA, but it's just too low, way too low of a time frame for us to even really worry about it, and it's done absolutely nothing. So I will not be interested in pinpointing this on the chart. Didn't sweep liquidity. Didn't grab any sort of prior demand either. So we're kind of just waiting to see what price does here. I wouldn't even try and really redraw another range in here for some form of accumulation, just because there's no crucial POI to our left where price could bounce off. Like, this is technically a range, and it is a valid range with a potential deviation forming as we speak, but as we saw to the left, there's nothing really that price can bounce off. So I am not too worried. Maybe in here we might have some form of structure, demand, POI. So far, this might be something. My only question is, has this been mitigated on a slightly lower time frame? Like, you have a slight mitigation there. That's fine. Yeah, I'm kind of liking this demand POI. We have, yeah, so that has been mitigated on the lower time frame, but we do have a potential refined demand POI in here. So I just want to do this. Yeah, so this technically hasn't been mitigated either. So this is our refined this is clean. This is our refined POI, which represents this higher time frame of demand POI below us. Very, very nice. You do have a ever so slight mitigation, as you can see on the 1 minute, but you can still use this. So yeah, we could see price bounce off from some form of area in here. something like that. And this demand is within our deviation limit, which is always a good sign for potential reversals. Which, yeah, does indicate really, really clean market maker involvement. But don't get me wrong, price can simply just run straight through. I won't put it out of the equation. That is it for gold. Silver. Yeah, we're still looking to move towards this liquidity. And we do have nice liquidity to our left as well, which will most likely get swept. And I do feel like silver is going to head into this demand POI fairly quickly. We might even get this next week or by the end of the week. I wouldn't mind catching some form of accumulation of this demand that can take us back into our supply up here, and then we catch a distribution in here, which can then run straight back down. Yeah, something like this can be very much on the cards for silver. But yeah, as always, only time will tell. This has been mitigated. This hasn't been mitigated. Time after time. If you know, it has. So really not much holding price up at the moment. Yeah, that's kind of it for silver. Not really seeing any reason for price to create an accumulation around here, because everything has kind of been grabbed. Yeah, there's no demand here to bounce off of, so I feel like price is just going to continue taking out these lows. And then maybe we're going to get a little bounce here or a little bounce here. That's sort of what I'm leaning towards with silver. Still ranging in oil. This is a crazy price range at the moment. Nothing much I can say for oil, and just let's see if we're gonna deviate this high first or this low first. Yeah, other than that, it's kind of just wait and see. Yeah, let's dive into some Forex. We have Euro USD. Yeah, we're still expecting this high time frame accumulation model to complete itself. So we are in a pro-long environment. This is just upward structure, but yeah, we can sort of start pulling some form of range in here potentially. We do have supply above, meaning yeah, if price decides to form some form of distribution model and mitigate this supply, then that's a valid short to take. Yeah, on the lower time frame, you can see this kind of has been mitigated, this supply. Yeah, on the lower time frame, it's not really clean supply anymore. It does look like it's been fairly mitigated. Technically speaking, you do have this. Unless that's also been mitigated, which may have been. Has not, that's right. We can leave that there. Yeah, same thing. In terms of Euro USD, we kind of just want to see if price is going to try and accumulate or try and distribute, as it has POIs on either side for either distribution or accumulation. So it's yeah, whatever the market makers would want to do on this one. A lot of supply above us though. a shit ton of supply above us. We do have 3-hour structure here. Whether this has been mitigated on a lower time frame or not, we are about to find out. Looks like it has. But there might be some more refined structure overlapping just above us. Question is, have these been mitigated on a lower time frame? This one has not, this one has. That is technically valid. So yeah, some very clean demand POIs here. After the greater demand, the overall demand zone has been mitigated, but we do have more refined demand below us, which price can come back down to. Man, how good is coffee? One of the greatest drinks to ever be invented. Alright, GBPUSD. We have technically front ran and not front ran. Sorry, we have swept extreme liquidity here. Given we have swept it, this pair might not come back up to complete this confirmed accumulation for now. And we've also ran straight through these demand POIs, as you can see. What can I expect here? Honestly, for the time being, you kind of just want to wait and see what price decides to do. We formed somewhat of a supply chain. Yeah, indicating that there will be a much harder return to this range high should price want to do this. Yeah, the only thing is that you could take a distribution here, but you are in a confirmed accumulation. It just has the only thing about this accumulation is that it's just swept this extreme liquidity. It has, however, confirmed or created supply in the process. Yeah, and then in terms of our higher time frame, we kind of were expecting and hoping that price would slowly trickle up to sweep this extreme liquidity of this potential supply of this potential distribution model, and then just flush down, because we are in a to be fair, we're in somewhat of a weird, awkward spot here. We distributed there. Yeah, a lot of supply above us. Yeah, you got three. Yeah. Two-week structure below us. Yeah, maybe I would like for price to come back into this 2-week structured demand POI. This has been mitigated on the lower time frame. Like just. We might have some form of overlapping. I wouldn't say so, but yeah, all this has been mitigated. You can see this demand got mitigated. A lot of demand chains forming here, but they have all been mitigated. And you have this very, very refined structure demand in here. Which has not been mitigated. Unlike the bigger area below us. Yeah, sweet, okay. I can get rid of this because it's been pretty much mitigated. And we have a perfect reaction off this block. Wow. That is very nice to see. That is very, very nice to see. Let's clean some of this up. So in terms of GBP USD, price still can come up for this extreme liquidity. There's nothing really holding it from coming down until it gets to about here. And there's nothing really holding it from going up either. So it's kind of like let's see what whether we distribute or accumulate. We have, I think, mitigated this demand if there was any valid demand here. Yeah, so this demand has been mitigated. And what was this? This must have been something very, very, yeah. Yeah, it's valid structured demand. That's fine. But yeah, it will be interesting to see what price decides to do. It can go many different ways um, for the time being. So we will wait and see there. But yeah, we're kind of just going to wait and see which level gets hit first, whether it's this demand loss or this supply above us. AUD USD. Yeah, we're in a very high time frame premium ranging environment over here. We obviously front ran this extreme liquidity POI. This could have technically been used as a third tap if anyone did use it. It is just a little bit sketch for my liking, therefore I did not use it. And yeah, we're now running through all this demand and we're looking to kind of hit the bottom of the range. So we'll see what happens there. We've got supply here as well. So yeah, this is valid structure supply. If we could turn back to the good old, very, very slight mitigation there, but we can still go ahead and use it. Like, if you really want, we can do this, and this is valid, so this counts. And if we start from here, you can see this has just been front ran. Therefore, this is unmitigated valid structure supply. So if it wasn't for these for this copyright on YouTube, man, I would be pumping some tracks to really G all of us up. But gotta have this, gotta have some cruisy and chill, copyright-free music just to not get any copyright strikes. But otherwise, yeah, we'd definitely be pumping some tunes. Yeah, AUD USD. Yeah, we're just going to be patient and see which way it wants to move. USD CAD. Can already see a potential distribution here, which is looking to form. Expectational order flow here. would technically be higher. Let's draw our market structure. There is demand below us. There is quite a bit of supply above us. Therefore, yeah, you can expect at least from here a distribution. We did get technically speaking, we got a model 1 up here. Or we formed some form of equal highs. The only thing I don't like is how we front ran this supply above us. That I do not like. But you know what? If we get a nice, we probably won't get a nice because the market is going to open, and when market opens, we are pretty susceptible to CME gaps and all sorts of imbalances forming. But in the optimal scenario, you would have liked a slow return zone up into this 5-minute supply OBIF and a strong rejection, which would indicate signs of weakness, and you would be able to short on a nice and convincing break of structure. But I don't think we will get that given market open is going to happen, and yeah, price can kind of do anything here. Look, ideally, I'd like market open to be about here, then we mitigate this supply, and then we break structure. That would be even better and even more convincing. But yeah, anything can happen, so we kind of just want to wait here for the market open. Excuse me for a minute. So yeah, kind of just gonna leave this as is and see what the open gives us. GBP JPY. Yeah, we are in a very much premium range on the chart. So we will see what's going to happen here. We do have extreme liquidity here, which has not been yet taken. Excuse me again, guys, sorry. All right. the other thing I do like about this is so far there's no real clear demand POI that has been created. Like you technically have this, but this demand hasn't actually done. Has it? Actually, it may have. It may have. I stand corrected, guys. I stand corrected. It's kind of created in some form of equal lows. Yeah, we can sort of use this. But nevertheless, we do have this demand here. We can just we can still take the trade and monitor to see how price reacts when we reach this demand POI. So that is still a-okay. But yeah, that's kind of it for GBP JPY as of now. One other thing I will check while we're on this demand POI is how it matches up regarding against our volume profile. Yeah, this is actually a very good sign when demand or supply POIs aren't backed by either volume area low highs or EQs of the volume range. It's always a good sign. If this volume area low was about here, just slicing through this demand, then you can say this demand POI is backed, or yeah, this demand POI would have been backed by our volume area low, indicating great signs of strength. So when price would come back into here, most likely, given it's backed by our volume area low, you would see a nice rejection back to the upside. So given this isn't the case, this demand area does look pretty weak, and you can expect price to potentially temporarily reject, maybe a little bounce, but then overall it will still continue to come back down. So that is how we are analyzing this distribution range for the time being, and excited to see what will happen on market open. GBP NZD. A lot of drawings on this chart. So yeah, we are in a confirmed distribution up here. Can expect shorts. We have our tap one. Let's do this properly and work our way back down. Always work your way back down. Have we mitigated extreme supply? No. We have not mitigated extreme supply from tap 2. Therefore, we don't have to short this for the time being. And then also, we've kind of created some form of demand. Was this... Yeah, it's fairly manipulative demand. It's all created in our New York session. Technically in our second half of our New York session here. But it is demand at the end of the day. it's definitely valid demand. You can actually technically draw from here. She moves like fire, dancing in the rain, like wind and water. Ideally, you could see something like this accumulate in here, slowly move back up, and create some form of return to zone. Break structure back down, and that would technically still be a valid third tap if our third tap was around here, as it would create a nice even distance between tap 1 and 2 and tap 2 and 3. So I would like to see price not mitigate this supply just yet. I would like it to see come back down, mitigate demand in here, move up, mitigate supply, and then come all the way back down. So we will see what happens here on GBP and ZD. Surely you don't get copyright for singing. That can't be a thing. All right, Euro GBP range is now taking. Yeah, this was actually a valid accumulation range which completed itself as we swept that extreme liquidity to a T, and voila. As much as this wasn't the nicest return, pretty much there was no return to zone, and you can also tell there's no real range inefficiency. I reckon you would see a nice even distribution of our volume area. Yeah, there you go. Fairly decent. Fairly even. But we swept extreme liquidity to a T, and as soon as sweeping it, we reversed all the way back up. So it's one of those instances where on paper it did what it had to do, but visually it just did not look like a legitimate range to trade. Yeah, high time frame, but kind of in a kind of in the EQ of the EQ of the EQ. Valid 8-hour demand here. I do like this, to be fair. However, was this a valid second tap? Like just. Because we are downtrending from here. So you can draw market structure like this to make it a structure was broken. And then Yeah, I'm not going to use this as a range just because it's kind of like an equal low, and it's not a deviate. That's not a deviation, so it's not a clear deviation for me. Therefore, I will not be using this as a potential accumulation model. This is kind of just market structure, really, at this moment. But yeah, wait and see what happens. Really, it's kind of it for Euro GBP. I'll go to Euro NZD. Yeah, we did accumulate here quite nicely. Very nice accumulation model here. Something tells me I didn't take that in classic fashion. Why would I take winning trades, guys? Like, come on. Why would I see a pristine setup and just leave it? You know, just not even bother. Give it to someone else. Let someone else take this. I'll just show you guys how to find the perfect setup, but I won't take it myself because why should I take it myself? You know, that's just the way we roll out here, eh? All right. Somewhat of a demand chain forming. We ran through that 45-minute OBIF. Demand is here. But definitely no ranging environment in here as well. Contextually speaking, for Euro NZD, we are in the premium section of a fairly high time frame range. Yeah, I kind of just want to wait and see what happens here, especially on the open. Let's look at the we're slowly making our way back to this 2-day OBIF, which I personally do think will get tapped at some point. And this model 1 distribution model does look like it confirmed itself. That is confirmed. Yeah, kind of just want to see what happens here. I'm not going to really worry too much about it. And yeah, I'm expecting price to move into that demand zone as we did confirm the Model 1 distribution. Swiss franc against the Japanese yen. A potential reversal, ladies and gents. Is this valid demand? This is valid demand. Just trying to see if this has been mitigated on the lower time frame. It looks like it hasn't. Obviously, it's been mitigated here, and thus far we are forming a potential distribution, but one, it's very low time frame, and two, we're going to have market open, so we can literally open all the way up here, and that's it really. Distribution gone. How long was this range applicable for? Yeah, not even 4 hours. That is that game we played. I will leave that as is. See what happens. USD JPY. Yeah, initially I did have this lower time frame accumulation model, sort of distribution model just inside of this distribution model. But yeah, it is. You do want to focus on this higher time frame distribution model as it is higher time frame. And yeah, initially I had this, for anyone that remembers my older videos, I kind of had this charted up as a range, which is a range, but there is no point in focusing on this range, which is just inside of this higher time frame range. Always just focus on the higher time frame range if it is valid. And in this case, this higher time frame range is valid. What you can focus on potentially is this. I will allow this. Yeah, I will allow this range. That is completely fine, as it is a lot lower time frame. Technically, we have a tap 1 and tap 2, so we have a confirmed. Theoretically speaking, we have a confirmed distribution schematic here. We have our tap 1, we have our deviation tap 2, and we have our deviation tap 3. We have even gone as far to mitigate this supply, I believe. Yep. However, it has been mitigated on the lower time frame. We do have this 1 hour though. Which is yet to be mitigated. You do have an ever so slight mitigation there, but you can also always pull it from here. So yeah, this is valid structure supply over here. Even that itself. So yeah, we'll see what price does in market open there. AUD CAD. Confirmed distribution here as well. We've even got an extended fourth tab, which is always high confidence. So yeah, now we are in a pro distribution environment, and if we do have any distributions present themselves here, we can take it, knowing that we are pro context, but otherwise nothing really here for me to see or do. Yeah, all these have been mitigated on lower time frames. Technically got some supply here. If we do get a pullback, we can always potentially enter. And that does look to be fine. That is fine. It's kind of it for AUD CAD. So yeah, we can always catch some just because the distribution has already happened, price can even bounce up here, start slowly climbing up, create that return to zone, and then form a tab 1, tab 2, tab 3, and then you can short that on the break of structure around here. You can obviously move your stop loss just above that tab. You can target the range low for like let's say, yeah, range low is like here for a 2R, but you can let it run to expected range low to the overall high time frame range low, because it has already confirmed a high time frame distribution, and that will allow you a 18 risk to reward trade. So just because we missed this doesn't mean we can't still get a good return, a good risk to reward trade, because yeah, if we catch a lower time frame distribution model in a range like the size of this, let's say, then you can always target the range low for that optimum risk to reward. So yeah, don't just throw your arms up in the air and go, oh no, I've missed this higher time frame distribution which could have given me like a 10 risk to reward and I'm not going to get anything. Price can still form distributions on the way down, so try and catch those distributions on the way down. Yeah, that's it for NZ CAD. AUD CAD, sorry. Let's have a sus of NZ CAD. Yeah, we had this extended model which front ran. I'll grab some form of extreme liquidity in there. It did, and then front ran our TP. I didn't enter this one, by the way, because that's what I do. I just provide you guys the entries, and I never take them myself, as you should all know by now. That is a joke for anyone that didn't get it. And this is our extreme liquidity. So yeah, so obviously I didn't take this, but it was a nice distribution model. And price is coming down into this demand POI, which has actually been mitigated, so apologies there. A very nice demand chain created. Yeah, like could we see price come back up? We can. Yeah, so that's kind of it for NZD CAD. And we are in this sort of high time frame of confirmed accumulation, which is a very high time frame, coming all the way back from 2020. But yeah, we'll see what happens here. You can always like hedge a. Don't recommend it, but you can always hedge an entry, and given we've tapped into this demand, price can actually open back up here. So you can sort of put a limit buy here, and price will probably, given it opens up here, price will then take your entry, and you're already up in great profits. So that's just like a hedge thing you can do, and then you can always obviously enter your stop losses as well should it open down here somewhere. But yeah, it's not what I do, and it's not what I recommend doing. AUD against the Swiss franc, we caught some very nice. You guys caught some very nice distributions in here, if you were aware. And it looks like we are pretty close to hitting our range low. My love, my touch up above. My love, my touch up above. All right, that could be it for Forex and commodities today. And we will dive into some crypto. Crypto. Yeah, we've even swept these highs here. So yeah, very much and a very clean return to zone below. So from a very much pro short environment in here. But yeah, let's get into some crypto. Bitcoin is not looking to come back to this structure supply above us. Yeah, it is kind of in a somewhat of a no man's land at the moment, Bitcoin. We've all got demand below us as well. So we'll see what happens here. Yeah, in terms of Bitcoin, there's not much I am expecting it to do thus far. we're just watching these levels. And there's no real demand in here either. From what I'm seeing, the price could accumulate from. There was demand in here which has been mitigated. You can see that. You can see that there. Yeah, and then no real demand in here. Nothing worth. Yeah, as much as you can draw a little mini range in here, like this. I'm not really expecting price to pump at the moment. You can use this as extreme liquidity film, but yeah, there's just no real other POI. Like it has technically bounced off this demand from the left of our chart, but other than that, we have so much demand below us. Like you can just see price coming down further, rather than randomly accumulating here in no man's land. So yeah, I don't really expect price to. Not to mention, there's a lot of supply bias and there's no real return to zone forming either. So in terms of Bitcoin, yeah, I do expect lower for now. ETH, we've had this somewhat of a P03 schematic. Ran through all this. Supply up here. Supply up here as well. I do expect lower from ETH as well.